Hey, would you just chill out, okay? Y'all over here are chilling the F out? Look it up. Look it up in the dictionary. Right next to go fuck yourself. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Oh, it's a glorious day. I'm so excited, man. I'm excited. You know, it's fun. It's fun to have this job. It's fun to be excited about, you know, not only the movie, but the conversations around the movie. It's a blessing. And thank you guys for being here. And we're going to get into it, man. Look, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what I was expecting exactly yesterday when the social media embargo went up for Superman. But goddamn, there's some glazing going on. There's a lot of glaze. Holy shit. A lot of glaze. By the way, guys, did you all stay up last night and watch as the reviews came in? Off to a great start today. I know. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. Nice balls on your chest. Thanks, man. Yeah, these are my balls on my chest, and I only like it if I can get at least 7 of them. I fell asleep. I have a family. Oh, right. Yeah, no. I do too, though. You know, I made it happen. Why didn't you? I stayed up. Why didn't you? I wasn't sure that I was going to, actually. I went to the gym kind of late. I was feeling a little bit tired. And I was actually working on some Warhammer videos, and then I was also watching, which, by the way, kind of a freaking side note here, but I was watching Heads of State. You guys heard about this thing? Do you know about Heads of State? Dude, that movie's cool. That movie's real cool, man. I was watching it last night. Zach, thank you for a gifted, man. Appreciate it. I put that thing on last night. Yo, that movie's fun. It's goofy, it's silly, but it's cool. And you know, if you've got some British friends or whatever, it's a nice, like, British American movie, you know, to watch together. Yeah, I thought it was actually really fun. So I was watching that. I was writing some Warhammer scripts, and I was like, you know what? I gotta see, you know, it about an hour, maybe an hour and a half before midnight. A lot of people were, like, sort of soft breaking embargo. I think, like, at that point, like, who really gives a shit, right? But you did start to see some people come out there and give some really positive thoughts about it even before embargo broke. And then I was like, you know what? I gotta see. I gotta wait up, and I gotta see. So I stayed up till midnight. A little bit past midnight, and man, I don't know what kind of experience you guys had, but bro, it was like at midnight I saw, and everybody's just like, Superman's the fucking best, and like everybody was so excited to not only say how much they liked it, but they were, man, you could just feel it, I don't know, it felt different. We're going to have a conversation about it today. We're going to talk about the sort of social media reviews. We're going to talk about how we need to take it with a grain of salt, because there are, within a sea of positive voices, there is a good bit of folks that still have issues with the movie. So I think, especially this morning as compared to last night, it's a little bit of a different story. If you're looking out there, a lot more critical voices, people having issues with it, et cetera, et cetera. But I also think you have to acknowledge that, you know, this movie is really important, and a lot of attention and a lot of thought, a lot of conversations have been had about it. And I think either way you slice it, even if you take a closer look and you kind of peel back some layers and give it context, I still think you have to give credit for the movie in a moment that was relatively important, meeting the moment in a good way, and a lot of fans being incredibly passionate about it. Like, seriously, I was surprised. I was surprised at how positive and how passionate people were being about it last night. So we're going to talk about it, man. We're going to get into it. We'll go over some of the reviews, some of the things that people are saying about it. I, of course, think it's important to keep it in context because at 3 p.m. today, we'll get the actual critic scores. So the actual RT score, which I got this one wrong yesterday. I had assumed we were getting everything last night at midnight, but the critic stuff doesn't start rolling in until 3. Okay. So around 3 and leading into tonight and into tomorrow, we will get the Rotten Tomato score. That might look different. That might look different than what it looks like right now, which I think is natural. Like that's a thing. We've seen that before, right? So that'll be kind of cool. What that then means, guys, is tomorrow morning we will have Rotten Tomato scores. We'll go over like the actual RT score and the different reviews inside of the score. And I will have also seen the movie. So I'm going to see the movie tonight. I thought it was at 7:30. It's actually at 7. So we're heading down, man. We're going to see Superman tonight. And I'm excited. And I am, after seeing the responses from last night, I'm a little bit more optimistic about how the movie could hit me. I still think there's obviously issues, and we'll get into all that. But I am more optimistic about seeing it tonight. And so I'll see it tonight. I'll come home. I'll probably like collect a lot of my thoughts tonight. I'll probably do like a reaction video very early in the morning tomorrow, 7, 8, 9 or something like that. And then we will stream at 11. So tomorrow at 11, we'll go over it. I'm not going to do spoilers. Like I'll do spoilers in the video, but I won't do spoilers in the stream tomorrow. Okay, so no spoilers in the stream, spoilers in the video. And so that's kind of what's on the agenda today. We'll go over the social media reactions. There's also a story, a couple of stories about Avengers Doomsday and how they're sort of reworking the third act. There's some stuff like that we talked a little bit about yesterday, but it's worth getting into again today with more of the details. And then we're supposed to get, although I'm not sure when this is going to happen, we're supposed to get the social media reactions to that 30 minutes of footage from the Fantastic Four. So that is supposed to be coming out there again, or rather today. So that'll be cool, man. Well, that's kind of what's on the agenda for today. But this is cool. Like, this is honestly really cool, and I'm really curious as to how you guys are all feeling about this. I saw so much fighting in the Discord last night. So much fighting, even into this morning. The discourse around this movie is, it's been interesting. And there's still a lot of folks that are very passionately, taking a stance or whatever. And they're upset that the movie's doing well or that it has good reactions or whatever. And there's a couple people within our community that are trying to do everything they can to point out the negative reactions or to say that like the Flash had the same reactions and stuff like that. So it's an interesting time. And there's been a lot of discussion around it. So I'm excited to kind of get into it with you guys and see how you're taking all of this. You know, how do you guys feel about it? Ethan says, hope you enjoy your showing, Josh. Superman really looks like it's going to be one of the bigger or better comic book movies of this era. You know, there's enough voices out there that are saying something similar to that I am at the very least like interested to see if that's possible. Like, is it possible that they really cooked to that degree, to that level? Yeah, I mean, it is. I would say it's possible. A couple of notable ones, right? Because we're gonna get into we're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna get into a bunch of different reviews. By the way, what are some of your favorite reviews? Is there anybody that's done like a video review yet, or is that probably doesn't happen until 3, right? I did see like a short little video from Aaron Cunez, I think. Aaron Cunez, the guy that did the Valiant comic channel. Been watching that guy for years, so I saw him do a little video. 3C, did he do a little video? That's cool. Roka did it out of the theater. Perfect. Okay. We'll go over all of this stuff, guys. Yeah. We'll go over all this stuff. Roka did a review and said it was fantastic. Wow, that's good to hear, because he was kind of, I think he was a little hesitant to see. Real Rejects did an out of the theater. Okay. Your review tweet was the best. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Chadwick Meyer says, did you see Matt hosted at the premiere last night? I did. I think that's awesome for Matt, dude. Good for him. Valiant Comic Channel. Yeah. I saw his video. I think I saved it or bookmarked it or something. I saw Grace's tweet. I was actually going to bring that up. Grace's tweet is such an interesting one. Yeah, I mean, she seems to really have liked it. Now, she followed up a bit and said there were some major things she didn't like that she'll talk about in her review. I'm kind of interested to see that. Yeah, I mean, I think I got to say the Grace one for me, it actually does get me more excited because she explicitly says when Gunn gets out of his own way, which was something we even talked about a bit yesterday. And if that's truly what happened, I mean, dude, I think a lot of the ingredients are there. And if it's hopeful, earnest Superman and he's, doing some awesome stuff and it's really fun, that is an element that I'm looking for. Absolutely. C Swerve says, to me, Flash is a 6 out of 10. When did it become the worst movie ever? LOL. Oh, I haven't seen it. So I can't really speak to its quality. I just know it's widely considered to be garbage. Andres says, have missed many streams lately, but always nice to pop in and hang out with the homies. Watching Superman in IMAX tonight with Chris L. Whoa, nice, man. Much love. Yeah. I had this thought too before we get into the reviews here, guys, because we're just kind of kicking it, chilling. I hope you're okay with that. One of the thoughts I had last night, right, because I was a little bit butthurt that originally I was a little butthurt that the screening I'm going to tonight is way more expensive than what it would normally be for me. What I realized was it's in a certain kind of theater that's really, really good, the Image. And there's even there's been some people that publish different guides on how the different screen types are represented out there. And I say all of that to say, without getting nerdy about it, I'm kind of excited now. I was bummed about it, but now I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to see this in one of the best looking theaters, one of the best screens around me for hours. You know what I mean? And that's kind of cool, especially because the movie does seem to have spectacle at the forefront of what it's trying to do. So yeah, I'm kind of pumped, man. I'm kind of pumped that gonna see it on a really, really good screen tonight. And I wonder if there was any calculus there, because obviously they're only selling they only sold the fan screenings at so many different theaters, right? It seems like they were all mostly on premium screens. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be exciting. ADHD must be searing your brain a lot, brother. Yeah, I mean, no more than how it always normally does or whatever. I don't know what that's I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that comment. But can I become a WB partner? Yeah, totally, man. Send me an email. I'll get you hooked up. I'm seeing it in 4K laser tonight. What does that even mean? One of two theaters in hundreds of miles that has a laser projector. Damn, that seems cool. I don't know what is that I don't know what the difference is exactly, but it sounds really cool. Laser disc. Oh, right. Cool. The movie plot leak shows horrible movie is the people saw it Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, that's pretty good. Pretty good attempt there at a little trolling, derailing the conversation. Maybe you're right. It's filmed exclusively for IMAX. Dude, they laser it right into your eyeballs. Wouldn't that be something? I went to go see it on laser. Yeah, they strap you into this chair and beam it right into your cortex. Picture's out of fucking control, man. Picture's out of control. So let me ask you this, Chad. How are you guys feeling? And I think the appropriate question would be, did last night and a lot of the social media reviews Have they pushed you to being a little bit more optimistic about the film? Relieved? I think that's a good answer. How about this? Throw a 1 into the chat if the reactions from last night have you more excited for your screening. Let me know. Damn. Hey, Deku, you can't. Hey, Deku, slow it down there. Somebody get that Deku guy. How do you even type that fast? Or are there like 30 people named Deku? Okay, yeah. Marginally so, says Trev. That's actually a big deal, guys. Trev can basically only move on the margins because he's like a grumpy-ass motherfucker. A lot like me. So that's a big deal. Been excited for a reboot since Zod got his neck snapped. Oh no, Vandalf, why? Shots fired? We're coming in guns blazing? You're using the hashtag or something? Sad for Deku? Yeah. Good morning! What up, Brandon? I can take people like Soup's reviews serious. He's paid for now. Yeah, I mean, look, I think that's fair. I think it's fair to say that you're not going to take Soup's review objectively. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with even taking a little bit of shots, doing a little ribbing. You know, speaking of Soups, check this out. This was funny. I think Randon made this in the Discord. But I'll show you guys because I think it's funny. Because, you know, I like Matt. This is me today. If I like Superman, I will become Soups. The Den of Soups. Soups of nerds. I don't know. But this is me later today. If I love it, you know? Why? Why not, brother? Why the fuck not? What are we here for, man, you know? Don't you want to have a little fun? Don't you want to have a little fun with your life? I know I do. It's also hot as balls up in here. Sorry, I'm sweating. Sorry, I'm so sweaty. I read Superman is the Thor Love and Thunder of the DCU already. Damn. Okay. Damn. Okay, that's crazy. Fun is a $22 a ticket driving in an hour. Yeah. Roku really loved it. So, yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, how about this? How about this, chat? Before we get into the reviews, let me just kind of give you a sort of, before taking a deep dive into it, just sort of my perspective on what I think is happening here, okay? So, really and truly, the positive reviews and the amount of positive reviews for Superman last night shocked me. It's kind of shocking. And, you know, yesterday on stream, I had suggested that I thought the reviews were going to be pretty mixed. Now, to be fair, we don't have actual reviews yet. We have social media reviews. And traditionally, social media reviews are a lot more hype. The positivity tends to stick out, get shared a lot more. The negative, more critical voices seem diminished within that environment. That's a pattern. We've seen this with Marvel, other DC movies, other movies in general. That's a thing. Okay, so you obviously want to filter the reactions through that reality. I would also say in the morning, they seem to be a little bit more mixed than they were right at midnight when everybody was like, let's go, Superman's fucking incredible, you know, and all that sort of energy. But with all of that being said, with all of that out there, I think one of two things is going to happen today. I do think I might have been wrong about the RT score. If this reaction translates into the RT score, you would have to imagine this is a 70% or higher, right? Like, that's just kind of what it seems like. It could potentially even be in the 80s. This could be 80s with a lot of people, like, in their reviews maybe saying, oh, it's got this issue or that issue, but ultimately still giving it a fresh tomato. The way the aggregate works on Rotten Tomatoes is kind of interesting because you can have all sorts of problems with a film. If you give it a fresh tomato, that counts in the aggregate as being fresh. That's what gives us the score, right? So the actual story of the context of the reviews might be a little bit different, but if this positivity can translate into the critic score, you're looking at a very high score. If that happens, dude, I think this movie takes off. You know, we have talked about this for weeks and weeks and weeks, and especially yesterday, we looked at a lot of data. The predictions on box office for this thing are really swingy. all the way to 90 million, all the way up to like 160 million. That's a crazy fucking spread. Now, I know it's different entities coming up with these spreads, so it's not like the general consensus is 90 million to 60 million. Like that's a crazy spread, right? So that's not what the general consensus is, but the truth is the range is wide when you include all the different voices. Most people have said throughout the course of the weeks and throughout the weekend and even yesterday that strong word of mouth was one of the potential catalysts for this movie to take off. And I would also imagine if this works, if this reaction does actually change how people are perceiving the movie and their actual purchasing of tickets and whatnot, then you're going to see in the next couple of days, people like Luis Fernando, people like some of the other people we follow here will report that the ticket sales have gone up, right? Obviously, that will happen. So the big question is, does this social media reaction and the positivity from last night, does that activate people? And if it does, we will see it in the data. If it doesn't, that will be reported on, but ultimately we will see it reflected in the box office this weekend. There's still a potential that this movie underperforms despite having this positive reaction. Thunderbolts had an incredible reaction. You know what I mean? And it is what it is, right? So we don't know for sure. However, I think Superman is in a slightly different situation than Thunderbolts, and the way I'm kind of viewing this, just because there are also social media reviews coming out from RT critics, like we can kind of tell Grace is probably going to lock this thing in for a fresh, you know, like all kinds of, you can kind of look at it and see that it might be going in a positive direction. If there are a lot of critics that ding it, that don't like it, because dude, I have actually seen over a dozen reviewers that clearly don't like it, and frankly might be frustrated that the social media reaction is somewhat fake or whatever compared to how they view it. And so they're out there and they don't like it. And I've seen at least a dozen of them. It's possible this thing still gets beat up by the critics. I know that sounds crazy, but it's still possible that this movie gets beat up by the critics later today into tomorrow. And then that will kind of diminish like the sort of first pop of positivity that was created last night, right? But I think there's a scenario here that's kind of emerging where you could be looking at a Mario Bros kind of a situation, right? Where a lot of critics are kind of harsh on it, maybe just like don't get it or aren't really into it, and they think because like Mario in particular, the way a lot of critics spoke about that movie was like, oh, it's just a total slop fest. This is like one of the worst stories. Like they were really down on it because it kind of just felt like a video game going from mission to mission to mission, and it's not trying to be cinema. It's trying to just be fucking fun Mario shit. You know what I mean? And so you could be looking at a scenario like that, because I think a lot of the folks that don't like it, they don't like it because it feels like it's all over the place and it feels like it's a sloppy movie. One of the things I see sort of repeated in a lot of the positive reviews, even just the social media ones, are like, this movie's fucking fun. This is the best comic book movie I've ever made. You'll see so many people today as we go through this that are like, it's like a comic book page ripped out and put onto the screen. You see like that kind of energy a lot, where folks that like comics and like all of that shit seem to have had a really good time with Superman because of that, not because it was like fucking Citizen Kane or whatever. Like, it's not a layered, beautiful. That's not a lot of people are saying that. They're saying this shit was crazy fun. Feels like a comic. It's got heart. Like you're seeing all of that. I think that's good for the movie, by the way. Like, and that could set up a scenario where even if some critical voices beat it up a little bit later today and maybe going into tomorrow, you could see a scenario where there's enough positivity within the fan reaction and enough very strong word of mouth that you could see this thing still really activate people this weekend, potentially into the next weekend, and potentially after that. Like, if it's really that crowd pleasing, I think that's bang on for the film, and I think that would set it up for a very, very good box office. So, we don't know for sure. It's crazy. Like, this whole experience has been really wild and really fun, following the film, checking out how fans are responding to it. I think this movie in particular falls under more scrutiny, being the first of a universe, being a reboot. I mean, anytime you reboot, you got to do better than the universe you rebooted, right? Like, that's just obvious, right? And so that's why I think a lot of people are looking at this film and like, it has to hit Man of Steel numbers. I think getting close is fine because of the changes in the industry, but that's why people say that. When you reboot something, you want it to be like better and perform better than the thing you rebooted, right? Like, that's fair, right? So there's a lot of questions that are still happening right now, but the way I view the response, just to kind of put a bow on this segment here before we get into the actual reviews, I was pretty shocked at how positive people were. And it did seem to me, as I went over the reviews last night, these are people that were really affected by the film that are not just out there saying it's great. They're out there holding its banner. You know what I mean? They're out there screaming on the mountaintops. They're out there and they're very positive about this thing. And that was an energy I was not actually sure would happen. I knew it would happen from a select group, of course, right? Like, there's Glazers and there's gun fans, and there's fans that have just decided that, like, this Superman in the DCU, that's like their identity or whatever, right? You always have that with all this stuff. It's all fair in pop culture and whatever. But I don't know that I really expected so many people to give such thoughtful, emotional takes and to speak about, I mean, frankly, the overwhelming thing that I heard last night was this could save comic books, or like, this is what comic book movies need. This is like what we've been waiting for. Like, I kept seeing like reactions and sentiments like that. Enough of them that you can't say it's all bullshit. Of course, you got to filter it and you got to say, like, yeah, like, people saw it at the premiere and shit. Like, yeah, they're going to be more apt to give it a positive review. But at the same time, like, you can't allow that filter to stop you from seeing what's actually happening. And I think what's actually happening is an incredibly strong social media reaction to Superman, by and large, whether it's 90%, 80%, even if it were 70%, the clear majority of reactions out there are very positive to Superman. And I think they're positive to the film in a way that will actually matter. And I gotta tell you, I didn't actually see it coming, man. I didn't actually see it coming. I was very confident yesterday, just based off a lot of things we've heard, the early leaked reviews, which, by the way, like, what the fuck is up with the Daily Beast? The Daily Beast said, and you know what's ironic about it, too? I wonder if you feel this way or not. Do you guys think that the Daily Beast leaked review made some people more apt to give it a glowing positive review last night? I think that's fair. And, I would also argue that even some of those things that happened yesterday via social media, with maybe the weaponization of, like, guns, comments about the immigration thing and stuff like that. I don't know, man. To me, it feels like there was maybe an attempt to control the narrative, or to, maybe they just fucked up. Maybe they just fucked up, and one of the worst reviews I've ever read for a comic book movie leaked out 5 days early on a very important movie, and it's just all on accident. But it does, to me, feel like there could be a scenario in which that was done because they wanted to form a narrative around Superman, and it almost feels like some of the energy behind it could have backfired. It could have, like, activated people to be even more accepting, even more glowing, and praise the film even more. I don't know. Maybe I'm off on a tangent on that one, but I think that's a strong possibility, man. Because in the same way, like, a lot of you guys would bring up, we were in the Discord, people would bring up some of the very critical things that the critics were saying on social media, and I was like, I almost feel like they're being overly critical, because, like, you got to think about it like this. If you're a critic and you think this shit's garbage, and you obviously think you have good taste, I don't think there's any critic out there that doesn't think they have good taste. So imagine you're a critic out there, you really did not enjoy this film, and then you go home and it's this glowing, glazing all over the place. I would imagine it's just human nature that you kind of want to be seen. You kind of want your point to stand out. You kind of want to say to the room, no. Here's what the critic has to say. And so in that way, you're like a little bit more motivated to go extra hard or to use certain language to really make your point. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that's totally fair. I think that's totally fair on both sides of it. God, chat, you guys are so awesome today. I love how, like, accepting you are. You know, there's so much energy here of like, you know what, Josh might have a point there, you know, and a lot of just acceptance and love, man. So thank you. And I'm being facetious. A lot of you fucking suck. Anyway, let's try to catch up on some of these chats here, and then we'll get into the actual reviews, okay? Vora says, going Sunday, not sure what to expect. F4 will be loads better, I think. Big love. Can I get a Owen Wilson? Wow. Yeah, man. I'm excited, too. I'm excited. Like I said, I see it tonight, and we'll see. I'm hoping that the F4 reviews do actually pop up, man. I want to check those out, too, because make no mistake, I still think that movie looks way better. I still think Fantastic Four will make way more money than Superman, but you got to give flowers where flowers are due. This is a really good first reaction. Jay says, do you remember when we read the social media reviews for Brave New World and then the RT? Yes, that's true. That's actually an incredible point. So that one in particular was very tough. That one was like we had been very afraid of how shitty Brave New World was going to be, like really and truly. And then there were some voices out there, and man, it did feel, I don't know how you guys feel about this in hindsight now, but it does feel like a lot of those early social media reactions were the ones that even did interviews with like Feige and shit. It does seem like they were super curated. And then when the RT score hit and it was so bad, oh, that was fucking devastating. That was a wild like 6-hour swing. Because it was similar where we were like, whoa, this is really crazy. But I think there's been a lot more evidence in the lead up to Brave New World that it was a shit sandwich movie than there is that Superman's bad. Frankly, all of the evidence suggests that Superman has always been a bit of a dividing film, and people like it hits certain people well and other people not. But that's not the same thing as like, yo, this movie's cooked and it's been cooked for 6 months, right? So the actual reports on Superman have kind of been like it's mixed, not bad. I know in the internet age it's all just mid and we can't actually like analyze it further, but yeah, that is an interesting point, man. Appreciate it. Zach Tech says feels like audience versus critic review will be very different. I think that's possible. But you know, as I was saying earlier, I think you're probably looking at a Mario scenario a little bit more than anything, because if somehow there breaks out, I mean, you never know, right? But if somehow there breaks out this narrative that would suggest that the critics are going hard on it, but fans love it, it can just still succeed. Like Mario did that. Mario was like a movie that the critics were like, I don't know. And then the fans were like, no, shit is dope. People I talked to said it was awesome. Mario. It's a Mario movie. And then it does really well. So it's possible that even in a scenario where the critics split wildly from the audience, that the movie still does well. Rossi says, just wanted to say, Josh looks so handsome today with his fresh new haircut. His takes are the absolute best and correct. He's super humble and positive. I mean, that's not bad, Rossi. I think you can do a little bit better, frankly. But thank you. Appreciate the support. Stream down? God, I hope so. Is it crashing? Is it breaking? Sorry guys. I'll see you later. No, it's still working. Okay, should we get into some of these reviews? Terrence says, if it's a great movie, that's a net benefit for the genre. Raise the tide, light the fire under Marvel, and buy more time for the superhero genre. I think that's actually fair. I think it's a fair take, brother. Hell yeah. P.S. Sorry if you thought I was spamming earlier. I got put on timeout. Love your channel. It's all good, Herb. You're fine, brother. You're good. Okay, should we start getting into some of these reviews? You guys said Roka did a video, huh? Is it on his YouTubes? Is it on his YouTubes? Out of theater reaction, 2 minutes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. John Roka. I like John, man. Always like John. All right. Let's see what the mother-loving outlaw got to say. Oh my God. Holy shit. Okay.
Hey y'all, it's John Roka here with my out of the theater reaction for Superman. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I don't know what to tell you. I loved it. I really went in wondering if I was going to enjoy it. You guys know I've said some stuff about James Gunn and his PR stuff, but the film itself was an absolute delight. Really enjoyed it. It had a big, strong heart at their center of it. Really enjoyed David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan. I thought Nicholas Hoult was excellent. This is made for the comic book geeks. If you're a comic book person, you are, I think, going to enjoy this movie a lot. It jumps around, yes, and the stuff it presents is like, well, you got to catch up, you got to catch up. So I wonder how the casuals are going to take it.
Sure.
But for those of us who are comic book geeks, we love the stuff that goes on in the comic books, the madness and the craziness and the weird stuff that happens in comic books. This absolutely is one made for you. It does feel like an episode of the animated series, so it does have that energy to it. So just know going that there are 2 post-credit scenes. But I thought the action sequences were really great here. I thought James Gunn did great with the direction. The chemistry between Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan was fantastic, and there's a real sweet arc to their love story in the movie as well. And the Nicholas Hoult stuff was just the right amount of evil. So all that stuff that kind of irritated me in the trailers, like Crypto.
Plus, Josh has a huge wang, and he is a pro gamer. Better.
Really worked in the movie. And Crypto is so sweet in the film. So perfect for what it does. And yes, if you're a dog lover, this is going to speak your language like crazy. So I hope you all enjoy it too. If you get a chance to see it, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section.
Man, I gotta say, that's a pretty good review. It feels almost like it speaks to a lot of us in the community that have similar concerns to Roka. And, you know, honestly, kind of addresses them in the perfect way. To me, puts a lot of my concerns a bit more at ease. I think John is, you know, like John is an honest guy, you know, and I think he's been very forthright and honest throughout the whole thing. He's called some things out that other people would not call out. He's made some criticisms that other people would not make, and therefore, for me, holds a little bit more weight the way he reacts to the film. And, you know, I think his reaction here, he says some of the things he was worried about from the trailers was alleviated. He says that, you know, he's a bit concerned with some of the PR stuff and some of the stuff that Gunn had done. But separate from that, the quality of the actual film was great, and that he was able to just enjoy it for what it was. You know, he sort of speaks to it jumping around a lot. This is something what we talked about as well. Yeah, it does seem like maybe there was this one structure that was sort of vignetted throughout, you know, day by day. That structure gets abandoned, and therefore I think the structure of the film overall does suffer, and it will probably be a little bit all over the place. Now, I don't know that that translates to a pacing problem for sure, because it's possible. Like, I'll tell you, guys want to, there's a really bad movie that's paced incredibly, and it's called The Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of Skywalker is terrible, but the pacing in that movie is actually excellent. It just doesn't let you go and just goes. I would imagine Superman, although maybe a bit all over the place and wild and a little sloppy in its scope and how that is pulled together, I would imagine that there's still enough of just here we are to sort of get us through. You know, I would say, because I've seen some other people say they wish it were a bit longer. That's not bad. That's actually kind of like, oh, wow, this thing was paced aggressively. And even though there were probably a lot of things cut and maybe a lot of footage cut, if you can go and have a good time and just experience as a sort of ride and get to the end and consider your time well spent and have enjoyed yourself, that's going to be really good. Talks about how the action is incredible. Talks about how the relationship and the chemistry between Lois and Clark is really key and really good. I heard somebody else say that the movie itself is so bonkers, but the grounded relationship between those two characters kind of like anchors it. That's obviously not what John didn't make that point, but I was kind of thinking of it as he was saying some of this stuff. So, hey, that's high praise, man. That's high praise. Okay, what else do we got? 3C did one. Superman reaction. That's the trailer reaction. Okay, here we go. Chris, always the entertainer, always taking things to the next level. I got a lot of respect for this guy.
I am fresh out of just having seen James Gunn's Superman at the red carpet world premiere.
I'm just saying this, like the pan into the react. I'm just saying that's like a little touch that just makes it a little bit more dynamic. I'm gonna watch this again. Now I'm glazing 3C.
I am fresh out of just having seen James Gunn's Superman at the red carpet world premiere. I can't believe I've just witnessed this with my eyes. Okay, this is just an out-of-theater reaction. You'll get my full review tomorrow. Right now, where it stands, I'm walking out of this thinking it's great. I was really watching it all with a big, dumb smile on my face. David Cornsweet as Superman, almost every action he was taking, from the lines, the way he was saving people, even his morals in here, everything. I was like, this is Superman. This is what Superman should be on screen. With that said, it's not without its faults. There are some things I'm even going to be nitpicky about, and there are going to be major things other people might not love about this iteration.
Yeah, and without getting into spoilers, there's probably a couple of things we're all thinking of when he brings that up. And there were some other reviews, like we'll watch Valiant, Aaron's review, where he also makes a comment of like, this one thing I didn't like. I think we could imagine what it is, but this is kind of an unspoken thing here. But you look at just these reviews and some of the other stuff we've seen, it really does seem like even if people didn't like that or they have some gripes, they walked out satisfied and they're like excited about the DCU and all that stuff still, right? So that's kind of cool.
But from what James Gunn has done and the way he's introduced the DCU, I am so excited for whatever is next, whether it's the Green Lanterns, whether it's the Justice League, whether it's Batman, whoever ends up coming next. If this is what the DCU is going to feel like and be like, oh, sign me up, because I would really want to see more of these adventures.
That's cool. That's good.
I'm going to let you guys know more later, but as of right now, I'm happy. I'm very happy.
That's solid, man. That's solid. Okay, whom else? Should we watch Aaron's? I think I saw his up on the Twitters. Oh, here it is. Let me get this pulled up.
Advanced screening and I just saw Superman. Thanks to IMAX, I got an advanced screening and saw Superman. Let's give you my spoiler-free thoughts. Home run, James Gunn freaking nailed it. Oh my God, I'm so happy. You guys don't understand. I wanted this movie to be good so freaking bad. Oh my God, dude, like, he did it. He freaking did it. This is a solid start to the DCU and just Superman. Like, he captured that traditional comic book Superman that I wanted. I know everyone loves Cavill Superman. I'm a fan too, but like, that was a different take, right? To me, that's almost like Elseworld Superman. That wasn't traditional Superman. This is, right? Like, he's earnest. He's hopeful. He just wants to do good. He's a little goofy. He's a little corny, but that's Superman. That is, he's a dude in red and blue with trunks on the outside of his pants and a yellow belt. Like, he is a little cheesy. He's a little corny. That is Superman, and it just works so well. It's funny when it needs to be funny. It's serious when it needs to be serious. There's a lot of great Superman moments in here, serious moments in here that really explain his character and him as,
Wait, his name is Eris? I thought it was Aaron. I've been fucking that up this whole time. God, I'm such a dumb American.
hero and just the person and the character. It's just, no spoilers, it's just so damn good. Lex is freaking awesome. Like, Nicholas Hoult did a great job. Obviously, like I just said, Corn Sweat did a fantastic job as the Man of Steel. He's a Superman 3 years in. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois.
His name isn't Valiant?
Mr. Terrific. Bro, Mr. Terrific is crazy. And Nathan Fillion
It's
as Green
Variant
Lantern.
Comics,
I was on
not
the fence
Valiant?
with that one, but like,
The
he
hell?
was good. I was pleasantly surprised. Everyone was freaking awesome. I only have one complaint with the character, but I'm not going to say it.
Atoski says, got me a big boy job starting in 2 weeks. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Perfect for the next stage of life for you, which is assembling your Warhammer army, dude. Everybody, can we get some love in the chat for Atoski? We did it. We did it. Woo! Let's go. Start saving up for your Warhammer.
No spoilers. Only one little gripe there, but overall,
One little gripe.
we did it, guys. James Gunn did it, but like, you know what I mean. We did it. Like, we got it. We freaking got it. James Gunn, bro, thank you. Amazing start. I will be seeing this again this weekend for sure.
Wow.
I'm telling you guys, it's good. Obviously, there's going to be haters.
I mean, dude, these are kind of like our people. These are like the comic book people, man, and they are freaking very positive on this
there's
movie.
always haters, but the majority of
Yeah, there's always haters like me.
you I know are going to be like me and be like, hell freaking yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Like, I'm just so happy. I'm like, genuinely.
I want to be like that. I want to be where he's at right now. Chat, do you think I will be where he's at right now? Look at this face, man. I want that. I want to feel things. Will my heart grow 2.5 sizes? No. Nope. Josh gonna drop a tear in the theaters? I don't know. Nope. No. Don't think so. Not a chance. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
Happy. Like, this is great. I wanted this movie to be good so bad, and it is. And yeah, I'm very excited. I'll be talking more about it as the week goes on, but that's my initial reaction. Freaking awesome. Go see it. Thank you, IMAX, for giving me an advanced screening, and I'm certainly gonna have my butt in the theater again this weekend because I got it.
Dude, I'll tell you this. Real talk, real dead ass talk, chat. You know the true metric, because I'm going to see it tonight, and then I'll give like a little out of the theater reaction thing, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow on stream and shit. But you know what the real test is going to be? Like, you will know that I truly love this movie if I go see it again this weekend, because I have like a lot of other shit going on. But man, like I would love to like need to go see the movie again. You know what I mean? Like, to see it and then be so like to desire to be back in the theater watching this shit again, experiencing this thing again, to like, if I really fucking like it, man, you'll know, because I find a way to go see it again this weekend. That would be a pretty big cosign on my part, you know what I mean? Caleb says, 12 months, you still dyeing your hair if it happens to be your favorite Superman movie? I don't remember saying that. Pull up the tape. Appreciate you though. Okay, what other ones do we what other ones, guys? What else? Whom else should we watch their review or whatever? Or should we just get into the Real Rejects? They did a video. Let's see. Superman? Y'all watch Superman? I don't see it. Is it just on Twitter? Or is it a short? Is it just on Twitter, guys? Film stock review. It's mixed. Okay, we can watch that. I'm not super familiar with the film stock. Who's film stock or whatever. Is Real Rejects on Twitter? It's a short. Okay, I didn't see it there. Oh, I want to watch Sean Chandler's for sure. Real Rejects. Yeah, I like Sean, man. Okay, here we go. First reaction from the Real Rejects. Let's hang on. Let's get the hang on now. Hang on now. Okay, let's see. See what they got to say.
We just got out of watching Superman. I want to get these guys' first thoughts right away. This is the greatest movie ever. I cried 10 times. I
10 times,
laughed
damn.
out loud. I clawed into John. It's like perfect. It's perfect.
It was action-packed. It was heartfelt. It was bright and colorful, but also pretty bone-crunching at times. It has everything you want and so much more.
I think it is the best Superman movie. It is not recency bias. I can say that calmly and confidently. This is undoubtedly my favorite Superman movie. I was moved to tears. I thought it was rousing, and David Cornsweet is going to be my Superman for sure.
Also, it's my
Wow.
favorite Lois Lane by far. That's a character I've always struggled with, and I just think that Rachel Brosnahan brought her to life in a way that was so relatable and moving, and such a baddie, and she has so much to do. It's just incredible.
And Eddie Gathegi, Mr. Terrific, MVP.
So good.
Yeah.
You can't miss this movie. July 11th. You can't miss it.
We just got out of watching.
Dude, I mean, say what you will, you know, you got to take it with a grain of salt, filter and all. Listen to them lying. Guys, it's not that they're lying. You could maybe say they have some sort of bias or they're feeling the vibe, you know, maybe they're feeling themselves a little bit, but like, you can't say they're fucking lying. Like, does that seriously feel like people that are lying? No, that feels authentic as fuck. Jeez. By the way, one of my favorite streams we ever did was when we watched the reviews for the Marvels. Watching Greg from The Real Rejects hold back his, like, he hated that movie, dude. That shit was so funny. Wow, what a difference to see how his reaction is to this. I mean, he truly, you know, because when he's saying that, some of you are hearing better than Zack Snyder, okay? And that's fine. You could that if you're getting stuck on that, sure. But that's not what Greg is saying. What Greg is saying is better than all of them. He's saying it's better than Christopher Reeves. He's saying it's better than Brandon Routh. He's saying it's better than Nicolas Cage. You know? Like that. He's saying this is the best Superman movie ever, not just better than the last iteration. The best one ever. That's pretty high praise, man. That's pretty high praise. Okay, who else? Who's next?
Superman. I want to get these guys.
Maybe I just typed in Superman and see. Why would anyone cope over positive reactions, not reviews? I'm not even sure what you mean by that. I'm not even sure what you mean by that. By the way, this is a total side note here. I thought Gunn gave a perfect answer last night when he was asked about the MAGA backlash. I thought, and I've been super critical of all sorts of ways he's talked about this movie and promoted the film. I thought in a rare moment, he actually gave not just a perfect answer, but like felt strangely authentic and not like a forced bullshit answer. Kind of felt real. Like he done good. He done good. All right. What's the other people? Who should we watch next? Oh, okay. So Christian's going in to see it right now. That's interesting. Okay. Who else? Sean? Okay. Did he put a video up? Did he put a video up? Hi,
my name is Sean.
Oh my God. Kind of loud. Okay. Like, no. Is it a short? Did he put something up on the Twitters? Out of the theater reaction is short.
So I just got into the theater from watching my most.
Boom. Okay, let's check this out. Really like Sean, man. Good dude. All right. Let me size this up for y'all here, okay? All right. Take us away.
Anticipated film of the year, Superman. I am a lifelong Superman fan. As someone that was born in the 80s, the Christopher Reeve Superman movies were the only ones that I had. So Superman movies always have that special place in my heart.
How do I get this caption
and
off
after
here?
What James
His
Gunn was
caption's on
able
his
to
face.
do with Guardians.
Guys, how do I get this caption off here? He's got the caption like right on his face. Ah, fuck
To
it.
the galaxy, I was like, what on earth will he do with Superman? Well, what did he do? He gave us like maybe the most comic book
three
movie
dots.
we've ever gotten that isn't embarrassed whatsoever of just leaning into the weird, the quirky, the sci-fi. It's trippy, it's crazy. It just
Fuck it, we're
goes
restarting
for
it.
So I
We're
just got into the
we're
theater from watching
restarting
my
it.
most anticipated film of the year, Superman. I am a lifelong Superman fan. As someone that was born in the 80s, the Christopher Reeve Superman movies were the only ones that I have. So Superman movies always have that special place in my heart. And after what James Gunn was able to do with Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, what on earth will he do with Superman? Well, what did he do? He gave us like maybe the most comic book movie we've ever gotten.
I like that.
That isn't embarrassed whatsoever of just leaning into the weird, the quirky,
I like
the
that.
sci-fi. It's trippy, it's crazy. It just goes for it and never kind of apologizes. The Lex Luthor in this is the Lex Luthor that is by far the most hateable Lex Luthor that they have ever given us. Like, you hate him and
No,
cannot
I'm gonna
wait
love him.
to see him get
No.
defeated in the film. Definitely has a lot of James Gunn humor all throughout the film, and it's a very Superman-centric film where Clark Kent is actually kind of barely in the movie, which is interesting because you're just like in on the action on this adventure with Superman as he's off trying to kind of overcome things, and it finds like really. We're jumping right in on the action where, like, from the get-go, he's in the middle of a battle. And from there, it never really slows down or lets up. And both there's physical threats, but it's much more even a personal threat. It's a public relations threat. And so it's like such a different Superman movie than we've ever gotten before. As someone that this was my most anticipated film of the year, it lived up to my expectations. I got the movie that I was hoping for, and I think a lot of people are going to be very happy. So I just got into the theater from watching my most anticipated.
I mean, that's high praise. A lot of positive stuff here to say. The fact that it's the most comic booky, that's really cool. It's not afraid to be crazy and weird. That's fun. Don't love the James Gunn humor thing, but again, like, I like the Guardians movies, even the second one, which I don't like as much as the other ones. I can still enjoy it. So, hopefully we sort of thread the needle of like, hopefully it just doesn't bother me too much, and the movie can win me over in its sincerity and with its action and spectacle. I love hearing that it's like the most comic booky thing ever. Like, that's really cool. Tim O'Brien says, community, Nerd Avengers for Life, Wrench Avengers for Life, been MIA lately, but we'll always support you, Josh, in this community. Much love. Yeah. Hey, appreciate you, Tim. Hope you're doing okay, man. Life takes us in different directions. You're always welcome in the tower. Joey Ebb says, new FF4 clip with Silver Surfer. Pivot. Well, we can certainly watch that. I do want to discuss some stuff with Fantastic Four a little bit later, but I still think we need to keep going on some reviews here. Film stock Superman. Let's see. Who's film stock? Film stocked Superman. Out of the theater reaction. Okay, let's see.
It's time to talk about the big one. Ladies and gentlemen, I just got out of watching James Gunn's Superman, the film that is kickstarting the DCU under James Gunn. And I have some thoughts. This is my quick out of theater reaction, though. Just a social reaction. My
Give us your thoughts,
is gonna be
bro.
dropping tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. You won't want to miss it. The question everyone's going to be asking, is this a win for DC? Is this a step in the right direction? And I'd say it certainly is. This is significantly better than a good chunk of the DCEU movies, if not most of them. And it's just a movie that does a good job of introducing this new world. It's lived in, certainly, and I have my issues with where the story picks up, but this is a new universe distinctly. It's James Gunn's film, and he nailed it with the casting. I'll say that much. I mean, David Cornsweet as Superman knocks it out of the park. This is all to be expected. There is a lot going on, and I wasn't crazy about certain plot decisions, certain story beats. I'll elaborate in my review, obviously. It's interesting, though, because Superman is a movie that on paper you'd think you're going for the spectacle of it all, the action.
Yeah.
But the big takeaway is that the small, simple character moments that humanize Superman and everyone else in the film are the big winners for me. Those are the ones that pull on the heartstrings. And when Superman's not suited up, swinging around, doing superhero things, that's when I think the movie actually excels more. This isn't a pure origin story, and that's no secret. So it's different than any other first Superman movie we've seen. It's a unique movie across the board that a lot of decisions will work for some, they won't work for others. I have a lot I will elaborate on in my review. I really can't say too much right now, but Nicholas Hoult shines as Lex Luthor. What a maniacal man he is, and the character dynamic between Lois and Superman shines bright as well. So I quite liked certain character moments. This movie's far from perfect, but it doesn't have to be. It's a very solid start. It's by no means some out-of-this-world comic film. Don't go in expecting that. I didn't go in expecting that, and that's not what it is to me, and that's never what it was going to be. So go in, enjoy it, have fun. It's Superman on the big screen. That's really all I got for you guys.
I mean, it's kind of interesting. I'm feeling a little bit of like, don't expect it to be like Dark Knight or, something crazy. That's kind of interesting. I think, he's kind of saying it is better than a lot of the DCU, which is probably fair. I mean, a lot of the DCU was pretty bad, right? I think they had some really standouts, but even like BVS, like a lot of you will defend BVS. I think BVS is fucking terrible, dude. The director's cut is great, but even that still ultimately leads to the Martha moment, and like it's still just kind of whack. Man of Steel is incredible. Wonder Woman 1 is incredible. Aquaman 1 is like decent. And then there's a lot of like mid. There's like a lot of mid in that catalog, right? Otherwise, I don't think we'd be in this situation we're in right now. So that's kind of interesting. It's like he's saying it's a very strong start to this universe, which mirrors and echoes a lot of what other people have said. But there's like a sense of like, he's like, yeah, just don't expect it to be like the best thing ever. And if you can just enjoy it, for what it is or whatever. That's kind of interesting. That's an interesting one. Thanks for pointing that out. Who else? Whom else shalt we watch? Watch C3. We did watch 3C already, man. It was great. Fantastic Four is giving chills. Brandon Davis, did he do a video? Or E-Man, did he do a video? We watched Roka already, man. It was really, I thought Roka's was a strong recommend. Okay, so did BD do a video? Where would it be on what's their channel called? Phase Hero? Or is that the old one? Which one's the new one? BD world premiere, full world premiere intro. Okay, hang on. Where's this at? On his Twitter? It's on Phase Zero? What? Okay, there we go. Let's see here. Shorts. Yeah, I don't see it, guys. What is happening here? Oh, that's it? All right, let's click this link here.
BD here, welcome back to the channel, and in this video, it's going to be my spoiler-free reaction to Superman. Boom. This video was recorded in June, after I saw the movie for the first time. By the time you're seeing it, I think I've seen it twice, but I wanted to capture my immediate reaction just to be super authentic and immediate. I loved it. I thought maybe there was a little bit of like some pacing stuff that felt a little weird, and so, like early on, but then once it got in a rhythm, I mean, I felt like it just, not to make a pun here, but it took off and it never looked back. I think David Corenswet was a phenomenal Superman. This is like, I want to be him.
What?
It was such a rich character, and the scenes with Lois and Clark, Rachel Brosnahan and David Corenswet have phenomenal chemistry. Actually phenomenal chemistry.
I've heard that,
Nicholas Hoult was great as Lex. I mean, the all-star Superman inspirations for Lex are so clear, and I think that made for such a good dynamic and tone for the movie, and such a good villain, I guess is what I should say. The tone of the movie is very kid-friendly. There's some like adult moments, nothing immature or like that, something like kids can't watch, but things that like adults will appreciate and understand more than kids will, but it's very family friendly. Mr. Terrific steals scenes entirely. He's a star. The Daily Planet group is great together. I just felt like this was a comic book, a cartoon come to life in really, really great ways, in ways that we haven't really seen from comic book movies as of late. It just really felt like I watched a comic book really just come to life. And I loved it. And I sat here and I said, I just walked out of the theater. Am I just like loving the movie because I got to see it early and I'm like in this crowd where, the costumes are right behind me? as you can see. Like, there's the Superman suit. I'm watching it on the Warner Brothers lot. Am I just excited right now by being a part of this? And maybe a little bit, let's be real. But the movie ended about an hour ago. Joe, come here. And I really loved it. Joe, what'd you think of Superman?
Fucking awesome. It felt like reading a trade paperback from the Silver Age come to life. Yeah. You know what it felt like? Justice League Unlimited come to life.
Yeah, dude.
That's like the best way I can describe it. If you're a fan of Justice League Unlimited, you're gonna love this. And it's still a Superman movie, but Mr. Terrific,
he steals the scenes, bro.
Everything.
I just said that. We didn't rehearse this. I didn't know he was gonna walk in here.
Did you really say that?
I saw it. So Mr. Terrific is a scene stealer.
Oh, easily.
And the Lois stuff, Lois and Clark's chemistry.
It made me want to see more Clark Kent.
I cried happy tears several times this movie.
Oh, me too.
Genuinely.
All the stuff in Smallville, incredible.
And there's a scene at the end of the movie that I was smiling ear to ear and just tears coming down my face. And I don't think I've ever had that experience in a movie where I'm crying happy tears.
I think
Damn, they be loving this movie.
Biggest fear for me going in was that I thought the movie was going to feel overstuffed, but it doesn't. It's still a Superman movie, and it feels, like I said, like you're reading an issue of a comic. It felt like 3 issues of a run that you're going to read. Yeah. Now you're going to watch, close it, and
he's a hero.
He's a hero.
Like, he's literally saving. Well, I won't say anything, but
I have a theory on that.
Oh yeah. Oh man,
good.
So good. All right, y'all. Subscribe to the channel for more. There are already interviews published with the cast. By the time you're seeing,
that's cool. I mean, he was, obviously very positive. They like it a lot. I think it's cool that he recorded his first reaction. And look, he's even willing to admit that, being a part of it probably frames the opinion a bit and taints it a bit. But also, they obviously feel the way that they feel about it, and there's a lot of stuff that they really liked. There you go. Okay, who else should we watch, guys? Let's just watch a couple more of these. Then I want to do a little segment on some Fantastic Four stuff. We'll watch that clip, and then we're going to get on out of here because I got to get ready. I'm going to see Superman. Breaking news, Doomsday leaks. What? What Doomsday leaks? What you talking about? Who else should we watch, ladies and gentlemen? If there are some crazy leaks, though, hit me up via the Discord or whatnot, bruh. Damn it, Tosuke. I was about to give a warning, but you came in. Wait, what? Trying to find you guys have me kind of interested in those leaks, though. So this is the new clip from Fantastic Four. That's cool. But I want to watch at least a couple more. Taking the wife? Yeah, me and the wife are going down. Check it out. Should be fun. Find it. New set pics with Wyatt Russell and Evan. Ooh, that's cool. Canada Dry. The hell? Evan Falcon and John Walker picks. That's cool. Matinee price? No, unfortunately not. It's at 7 p.m. Did I see the new Chris Nolan leak? Are you talking about the trailer for the Odyssey? Yeah, it was cool. Movie files? Well, I'll tell you what. How about this? Should we look at a few more negative reviews? How about this? Let's look at a couple positives, and then we'll look at a couple negatives, and then we'll get out of there, okay? Okay, so here's kind of an interesting one. This is Eric Voss. Says, James Gunn's Superman is the comic book movie I've been waiting to see for decades. The film shines with a sense of play that, paired with kick-ass filmmaking, superhero cinema, hasn't seen this boldly served since Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. The DC universe is in good hands. Damn! That's high praise, man. I also saw some other people kind of bringing up that same Raimi comparison, as, those movies were pretty bright, colorful, not afraid to be comic booky. So that's pretty cool. Can you watch the Soups review? I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. It's not that I'm necessarily against it, but I'm not... I don't connect to Matt's objective opinion. It's not going to move me one way or the other. So not, if you guys are really interested in it, I guess we could see it. But if I wanted to watch Matt's review, it would be more like, What kind of ridiculous hyperbolic shit is he going to say? Is he going to start with, like, I survived? You know what I mean? Some shit like that. Here's one that's actually interesting because this dude, I think, has actually been fairly critical of, like, Gunn and a lot of the silly shit that's happened. So Zero won't miss. I like this account a lot. He says, I'm actually glad Superman is getting all the love it deserves. In order for this movie to be successful, everyone has to show the fuck up to the movie theaters. If you don't, it's going to be another Flash situation. I hate when movies hit streaming services early. That's true. And then his review was actually pretty good. Let me see if I can find it here. Here's his review. I enjoyed Superman. There's a few good action sequences, but the most interesting thing about this movie delivers is the way it portrays Superman and his relationship to the rest of the other characters. I believe it does have too many characters and plot lines. Maybe call the movie Superman and Friends. The movie might not be perfect, but overall it's pretty entertaining. Mr. Terrific and Krypto were definitely in my favorites in this film. And Clark having a dog in need as a companion to assist him from one time to time is what we all need. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is a nice review there. His first reaction was like, I enjoyed Superman. There were some good action sequences. Oh, okay, so he just kind of copy-pasted that. Okay, interesting. I do think it's probably worth it to look at just a couple of the negative review guys, just in terms of objectivity. So, you know, look, we've gone over a ton of these, man. It's very positive, mostly very, very positive out there. But I do want to bring just a couple of these to your attention, okay? So we'll go over a couple of negative ones, and then we'll look at the Fantastic Four stuff, okay? So here's one that's kind of interesting. Brittany Patrice says, I really wanted to love Superman, but I just sort of liked it, not as overstuffed as I predicted, with Mr. Terrific being a standout. Sad that it's a visually bland / dull as it is, that it drops the ball on some of the commentary from the trailer. Overall, it's pretty okay. Superman needed a lot more Clark Kent for me, and sadly, not convinced on this Lex Luthor. I'm hoping a rewatch will amplify the good over identifying other things I do not like. Woke up thinking about Skylar and as Jimmy Olsen because he was so fantastic. Also, peace be unto all fighting, screaming, and crying in my comments. Fair. So, yeah, I mean, it feels like a fairly objective one. But, yeah, man, she's just kind of okay on it. Wanted to love it more. Doesn't love Luthor. Didn't think it was overstuffed, which was maybe originally a concern of hers. So that's kind of interesting. We'll pull up just a couple more of the negative ones. What do you guys make of that, by the way? What do you make of those comments? Here's one here. This guy says, Superman is such a flat nothing of a movie that feels like any other late period superhero flick, overstuffed and underdeveloped, relying entirely on preconceived notions of characters because it spends zero time setting anything up. Emotional stuff doesn't land. And I actually have heard similar sentiments to that, especially the idea of not setting up the characters. It seems like if you know comics, you come in and you're probably going to be like, yeah, I know this character. I have a feeling about this character. I understand this character. But if you're a normie, you might be sort of lost, because I don't think it's going to take the time to like set up every character. It's just lived in that sense. Now, for me, that's actually something I like. Like, I actually enjoy that, because part of the joy for me is like picking up on the little subtle clues, being interested in a certain thread or something about a character, and then looking it up later. Star Wars technically acts like this. Like, Star Wars technically is like, it's like this grand tapestry, and there's all these little things that you get a little taste of, but you have no idea the context. Like Boba Fett's a great example. Boba Fett shows up, and everybody's like, dude, that dude's so badass. And then they further fill in the gaps later, and there's this huge like lore and all this build up and stuff like that. So that's kind of interesting. I do want to find let's just do maybe one more negative one. I did try to save a few of these just so we had them available. Okay. Yeah, well, let's just do two more. We'll do two more negative ones. And again, I just want to be clear, the vast majority of reactions have been very positive. Here's one from Peter Howell. Says, Superman, not the superstar to the DC universe everybody had been hoping for. James Gunn is brilliant at conjuring spectacle and creating alien realms, not so great at storytelling. David Cornsweet plays a boyishly sweet Superman, constantly getting his ass kicked. He'd be better as the lead in the Dudley Do Right movie. Rachel Brosnahan makes a spiky Lois Lane. Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor is more obnoxious than villainous. The real star of the show is the super dog Crypto, who steals every scene he's in. I'd rather see a movie about him. Damn. Okay. Well, that yeah, that's pretty crazy right there. That one's that's a bit of a tough one there. But at least he liked Crypto. You know what I mean? Like, at least he said Crypto was pretty chill. All right. Here's one last negative one, guys. Josh Param says Superman is weighed down by a needlessly convoluted plot, bordering outright muddled, and a mix of tones that never quite settles. While its spectacle is engaging, Corn Sweat's performance is a real stunner, delivering an incredible presence. Holt is good, but underutilized. I think this could actually end up still being a positive tomato score. But it is a little bit more on the rough side, okay? And these sentiments, by the way, echoed and shared by a lot of people that are actually in the established press corps. So, for instance, one of the other reviews I saw, which maybe I should just pull up for you guys, but one of the other reviews I saw was, oh man, I forget. It's one of the reviewers. We talk about their reviews quite a bit here. So some of these people are legit Rotten Tomato score critics. Yeah, like, so Scott Menzel had a negative reaction. Andrew Salazar had a negative reaction. Yeah, so I guess we're going to see, you know, I think there were a ton of glowing positive reviews right at midnight. There's still a ton of really positive reviews out there for the film, but there, especially ever since the morning, a lot more negative voices out there. And unfortunately, a lot of Rotten Tomato critics do seem to be some of the voices out there. Like, you know, Josh, for instance, works at Best Picture or Next Best Picture, Critics' Choice Chicago member. So these are critics. We'll see how that translates. I think if Superman can kind of hang strong, 60s, 70s on a Rotten Tomato score, and if the fan reactions can kind of carry through, right? Because even right now, a lot of the reactions we just went over, there's, you know, a bit of a caveat caked in. I mean, these are people that saw it early. Seems like there's like a little bit of Access Media stuff going on. So some people are just not going to take these people seriously. Other people are going to see the movie today, tomorrow, Thursday, and, you know, over the weekend. Will the word of mouth from those viewings get out there and carry through to more box office this weekend? We're going to find out. We're going to see. But overall, I would have to say still a really good start for Superman. And the vast majority of these reviews are very good. We're going to see today at 3 p.m., 2.5 hours from now, the RT score starts cooking. We'll go over that in a little bit more detail tomorrow. So, chat, what do you think? You know, we're going to move on here. We're going to talk about some other stuff, but just curious, what do you make of this, guys? What do you make of this? It's got the Justice League in it. That's true. Twist Off says, what's a guy got to do to get absolutely jacked Lex Luthor? Also, this Superman is too babyface for me. Am I the only one? He's a bit babyface, but I'm that's not necessarily holding me back. What time is my showing? I'm going at 7 p.m. Doomsday set photos. I'm probably not going to jump into the set photos today. I'll look over the set photos. I'll see if they're like legit and worth talking about, and we'll talk about them tomorrow if they are. Critics didn't hurt Jurassic Rebirth numbers. Most people don't care. Yeah, but it's not as simple as that. I mean, you know, I understand the point you're making, but if you're just plainly saying that reviews will have no effect on it, I'm going to say you're wrong. You could make the argument that spectacle matters more and word of mouth from fans will probably activate a bit more than critics. At the same time, though, like, I know for sure if this thing has a really bad Rotten Tomato score, that's going to affect the film. We'll get another round of reviews in about 2 hours. New York City screening it right now. That's true. That is absolutely true. Yeah. I'm going to be honest, Josh. Most of these people are paid off. They don't seem like legit reviewers, or they are giving free access. Their opinions would always be good. Again, I understand where you're coming from, and, you know, you can feel how you feel about it. I don't feel that way. I think it's like too many people get in this like black and white argument. You know, it's a little bit like what BD said. Like he said, he tried to like admit, yes, I could be a bit more positive because of this. I don't know, man. The idea that would make it so if it was ass, he just wouldn't admit it. I don't agree with that. Griffin Schiller. Okay, here's an interesting one. Yeah, from Griffin. Says, while it took a minute for me to get on its wavelength, there's no denying that James Gunn's Superman will define the icon for a new generation. A proudly punk rock rebuttal of the cultural shift towards cynicism and dehumanization that's incredibly on the pulse, raging with authenticity and sincerity. It lovingly captures the very soul of Big Blue, filtered through the singular lens of James Gunn. For better or worse, mostly for better. Fair. I don't know if I'll agree, but I understand what he's saying. This is one of the most handcrafted and authored superhero films I've ever seen, pulling heavily from All-Star Superman and the animated series. Big screen Superman has never felt more vibrant and alive, relatable, and human. I fell head over heels for Cornsweat and Brosnahan, while Holt's Lex is perfect. Deliciously petty, obsessive, vindictive, and Gunn finally gives Superman and Lex Luthor their long overdue Batman and Joker moment. Walked away instantly wanting more of this world, these characters, and the DCU at large. Wow, that's high praise. I think he's admitting a couple of things here. It's a little roughish. Takes you a while to maybe get into it. We saw this reflected in some other people where they said after it got going, it found itself and then just went. He's saying it's filtered through the lens of James Gunn for better or worse, mostly for better. I would imagine that's just like a subtle way of saying like some of the humor and silliness is maybe not always wanted. But yeah, I mean, overall, very, very high praise. Very high praise from Griffin. And yeah, he's a real ass dude. Let you know what he thinks. Caden says with a 5 spot, I'm sure it will be a good movie. I just don't think it'll be serious enough for me. Although Guardians 3 did surprise me with how serious it was. Fair take. Benjamin says, on Ja, this movie gonna slap. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Josh, did you find the dude that you bet yet? Is he hiding? No, he's not hiding. How do you know James Gunn movie is coming out? Oh, Jesus. Grace Randolph review? I mean, we talked about Grace's review, you know, at the beginning of the stream. Do you think what James said about politics could ruin future reviews? No, I don't think so. I think he handled it pretty well, actually. To me, that indicates that people weren't on the fence about Jurassic for whatever reason. People on the yeah, that's fair. That's fair. More people were on the fence about Superman than Jurassic. I think that's fair. E-Man review? Did he do a video? All right, this is the last review I want to go over today, though, guys. Okay, so E-Man says Superman is fun, heartfelt, and feels like a comic book come to life. You see that reflected a lot, right? That phrase, that idea, that concept, a lot of people saying that. And to me, that's a good thing. I'm glad that's a resounding takeaway. David Cornsweat gives us a new take that works. James Gunn nailed the emotional core and migrant story. A solid soaring start to the DCU. That's high praise from E-Man. E-Man can be pretty critical. So that's good. That's pretty cool. So, now that we have gone through a good bit of these reviews, we've talked about the positive ones, we've talked about the negative ones, we've talked about how, you know, we need to take it with a grain of salt, etc., etc. Chat, how are you feeling? Are you more excited for the movie? You going to see it again? Were you not going to see it? Here's a good question. Were any of you not going to see it this weekend, but now you want to? That would be really interesting. I wonder how many of you like that. Definitely won't see it. Oh, okay. I'm feeling like you should play the Fantastic Four clip. Oh my goodness. Yo, are all the Marvel fans like... some of you Marvel fans are like super mad about all this. Hey, Marvel fans, listen to me. Are you going to be able to handle a thriving DC universe? Like, what's up with that? Like, if I can handle this, I think you guys can handle this. You know? It does kind of surprise me how some people are like real, like some of the Marvel fans are really not having it. It's, yeah. Thriving how? Like continuing to exist for years and years and like having big movies and stuff. That's what I would say. Den of DC and Dune coming soon. Hell yeah, brother. They aren't objective. Oh yeah, Trev? You don't say. Ethan says, after reviews, I think it's going to be a lot better than I thought, but now I have higher expectations. That's fair. That's fair. But these reviews are going to get people in. You know what's funny? I wonder if it'll backfire. I wonder if now all of our expectations have been risen and we're going to go in and be like, what the fuck was they talking about? And then we lose our minds. Damn. Okay, should we watch this F4 clip? Would that satisfy you freaking Marvel fans? Sorry. Love the channel, Josh. Can't wait for F4, especially Galactus. Do you think he's going to be a one-off villain, though? I hope not. No, I don't think he's going to be a one-off villain. I hope he's involved in Secret Wars. I doubt he will be involved in Doomsday, though. Look at all the butthurt Snyder bros and Marvel fans, says Rossi. Hey, Rossi, play nice. You know, we're a nice community over here. We're super welcoming to everybody unless they disagree with me. Marvel, more like Midville. Right, guys? Good one, John Bow. I mean, you know what? A for effort. Actually pretty terrible. Actually pretty terrible. Okay, where's this Fantastic Four clip?
Protectors of this world.
Why does Twitter just, like, it's just so ass? Like, you're telling me this is 1080p? I don't fucking believe you, Twitter. I don't fucking believe you. But you know what? I'm too lazy to go find it somewhere else, so fuck it.
Protectors of this
We
world.
ball.
Yes, we are. Your planet is now marked for death.
Oh, no.
Your world will be consumed by the Devourer. There is nothing you can do to stop him, for he is a universal force, as essential as the stars. Hold your loved ones close, and speak the words you've been afraid to speak. Use this time to rejoice and celebrate, for your time is short. I herald his beginning, I herald your end, I herald Galactus.
Yo, fuck Superman. Holy, that shit was chilling.
Are you the protectors of this world?
Yes, we are.
Your planet is now marked for death. Your world will be consumed by the Devourer.
Man, I'm going to do a version with AI in just a couple of years, and you guys are going to be so mad about it, but you'll watch it. I'm going to do versions of all the MCU movies where I'm an extra. I'm like a background character, and it's just like, imagine if Josh was just in the scenes. And so I was thinking, like, she's saying this shit. I'm like, the fuck you mean by that, bitch? Like, I'll be like in the background and I'll be like, what the fuck? Oh, do you hear what she's saying? And shit like that. It's going to be so fun.
There is nothing you can do to stop him, for he is a universal force.
The fuck you mean?
As essential as the stars.
The stars?
Hold your loved ones close.
The fuck?
And speak the words you've been afraid to speak.
The words I've been afraid to speak? About
Use
Warhammer?
this time to rejoice and celebrate. For your time is short. I herald his beginning.
Yo, in all seriousness though, this scene is chilling. I love this, man. And I love the fact that everybody's just there. It's being televised as well. Like, damn, dude, the whole world's about to just learn. And it's such a... She's being, like, chill about it, but it's just, like, dark, you know? The music's right, the tone's right. This is good, man. Jay Garcia, thanks for the 10 spot, says, a friend and I are trying to make a bet, but can't agree on terms. To be fair, should Man of Steel use inflation-adjusted opening office when comparing to Superman's box office opening? Nah, I mean, to me, no, you don't. If you do inflation, I don't think Superman's going to catch it at all. I mean, maybe, I guess if it was crazy, very successful. But no, I think you just need to compare them straight up. Is she talking into a microwave? If she wants to, who's going to stop her? You? Jesus. Nerd Erotic having a field day with this clip. Does he love it too? Is he saying that it's chilling as well? That this is so chilling and scary and look at how crispy and good it looks? I think you should adjust for inflation with Man of Steel, though. Yeah, no, you can think that. That's fine. Josh, which do you prefer, this scene or Where's the Dog? Yeah, no, this one. Just by a small margin, I prefer this scene to Lex Luthor being like, silly ass dog, motherfucking cape, bitch ass Superman, into his mug. You know what I mean? She talks quiet, but it feels like a frequency, so something everyone can hear. That's my take. Oh, no, you don't even have to explain it like that. It's just awesome, and everybody that's trying to say it's not is dumb. That's what you got to say. I mean, like, that's what you got to do. In clear, I'm super careful to be objective and to be like, I really care about how other people view things, and I try to be just bring people together. But if you don't like this, you're dumb. You're dumb. You was so dumb. But, you know, it's a free country or whatever. You can feel how you feel. I think this is awesome, man. I think it's so fucking cool. Now, a question I have, and that's also probably fucking Twitter's fault anyways for its stupid-ass compression. But where's the reviews, the responses to the 30-minute thing? Is that actually happening still? Because I would love to talk about that. I would love to talk about that. It's a really good scene. It feels so different from the normal MCU. I agree. Did you show the pics already? What pics, bro? What are you talking about? What pics? I didn't like it. I guess I'm a weirdo. No, you're not a weirdo. You're dumb! You lack the mental capacity to appreciate the dopeness. Now you're starting to piss me off. The CGI looks good. Do you think Superman has low-key bad chi? Wow, that's an interesting question. No, I do not think Superman has bad chi. No. Bro will defend the MCU to its last breath. No, I won't. I have talked so much shit on the MCU over the last couple of years. It's crazy how different folks view the channel. That's crazy talk. I believe yesterday I said, or maybe it was last week, Quantumania was a movie so bad it made me understand assisted suicide. But sure, I'll defend the MCU till my dying breath, I guess. Yeah. Superman clip out. What? What's the clip of? A new Superman clip? Whoa. Okay, so this is actually kind of interesting, guys. This has nothing to do with what you're talking about here, but check this out. This is crazy. Denis Villeneuve's Dune movie is officially titled Dune Part 3, not Dune Messiah, like Frank Herbert's 1969 book. While the movie will include sequences shot in IMAX, it will not be entirely shot in IMAX. So this corresponds to something we talked about a couple of weeks ago, where due to some of the casting rumors, it feels like they're going to take elements from the further books, like book 4, 5 maybe, and implement them into Dune Part 3. That's crazy, man. And by titling it Dune Part 3 and not Dune Messiah, although I guess, you know, it could change. Maybe they'd call it Messiah again, but wow, that is like a pretty big damn near confirmation that they are changing that movie and adapting some of Children of Dune. Wow. Wow, wee wah. I think the clip is good. I just wish it were Norrin. Yeah, I mean, for sure. But yeah, for sure. Like, I want it to be Norrin as well, but I don't know. At some point, I'm just going to accept that they didn't do that. I mean, do you think they're going to change the movie with 2 weeks? I mean, that'd be lit if they did, but I don't think they will. It's going to be 3 hours. I would say it's probably going to be pretty long, yeah. They have a lot to accomplish in that film, but I'm excited about it, man. I think Dune is, like, on the rise, and so that's cool. Oh, man. What a fun time. Dude turns into a worm or nah? Yeah, Leto does, but probably not in this movie. No, probably not in this movie. Yeah. I think Fishburne's Silver Surfer will be in Secret Wars. Dude, that would be fun. Yeah, that would be pretty fun. Embargo lifts at 1 p.m. for the F4. Now, is that for 1 p.m. our time or 1 p.m. Pacific? Yeah, I still don't know if RDJ is going to actually be in the movie or not. You know, obviously the Doom scene is in there. It almost feels like they shot it in a way to get around actually having to pay Downey money. But I would like him to actually be in that scene as well. Maybe they can work it out. Check 1 p.m. Central. Yeah, so that's actually right when the other reviews come out too. But I will be traveling at that time. Going to see this movie. Okay, well, how about this? Let me just talk about the Marvel thing. And then we'll call it. Okay, then we'll call the stream there. So this is I do find this to be a little bit interesting. So obviously Doomsday is a big deal, and it was delayed 7 months. And that's crazy because they're not actually stopping shooting, or at least they have not stopped yet. There might be a slight break in shooting, but by and large, this thing is shooting for like the better parts of 10 months straight. That's crazy. I've never experienced a shoot that's long. That's like a shoot for like a really long show or something. Like, that's absolutely insane. But because of that, there is some stuff that's kind of leaking out about this and potentially explaining why some of this happened. So I want to go over a report from Daniel RPK that happened yesterday and sort of give you some context here, because there were a few things he said. So he said Marvel Studios reportedly still has not finalized the third act of Avengers Doomsday. Now, that in a way is like shocking, and I think maybe the uninitiated or whatever would be like, damn, like that's crazy. That sounds like a disaster, okay? But, you know, as we explained yesterday, Marvel is always reworking their movies. They will do scheduled reshoots where they don't even know what they're reshooting, but they know they will want to shoot something to make the movie better. Marvel traditionally changed the ending of Quantumania about a month before it released. Marvel changed the ending of the first Avengers movie and added the shawarma scene. This was after the world premiere. So the premiere happens, there's no shawarma scene. They shoot the shawarma scene at the premiere and put it into the reels for the actual release. So Marvel works really last minute. This is not uncommon. But of course, with a movie this important and a film that just got delayed 7 months, when you hear that they have not finalized the third act of the movie, yeah, that gets a little bit concerning. Now, there's something else that Daniel said yesterday that was like, they're filming stuff on the Void right now, or they're getting ready to shoot some stuff on the Void. And I know there's people in chat talking about how there's like these leaked photos and everything. I will check that out. I don't like to look at stuff like that on stream live until I vet it to make sure it's actually real or whatever. I don't like to just talk about it on stream, but we can maybe talk about that tomorrow because perhaps those are real and they are on the Void or something like that. Okay, so you got some shots being built on or some filming about to happen on the Void, and they still have not finalized the third act of Avengers Doomsday. Now, here's the thing that's crazy about this. What I'm about to say here is heavily speculative, right? Because we don't know for sure. All we have is little leaks, rumors, and hints. And it's interesting that like that James Macweld guy has been talking about the Void and Loki and Franklin and this X-Men universe. And now Daniel's out there saying, yes, they're about to film some stuff on the Void. Like, that's a little crazy to me, right? So from what we know, chat, it does seem like the third act of this movie is going to have like a lot of unwinding and consolidating plot points. Okay? It seems like the movie will more or less begin with Reed Richards coming into the MCU like we see at the end of the Thunderbolts movie. And Reed Richards might be saying like, hey, they have my son, Franklin. Doom has him. He's in this other universe, right? And we talked about yesterday how it seems like Shuri is going to assemble some of the 616 Avengers to explain what's going on with this other universe. Reed Richards may well use Wakandan tech to try to help figure out what's going on. And then they might use America Chavez to enter that universe in an attempt to rescue Monica Rambeau and Franklin Richards from Doctor Doom. Now, meanwhile, it kind of seems like Doom is going to go to this X-Men universe. He potentially wants to kill Charles, who is the anchor being of that universe, or at the very least, he's looking for powerful beings. And there's a big rumor that what he's really trying to do is get the Avengers and the X-Men to fight against each other, to weaken them, or potentially to like have control of some of the people so that when he goes after Loki and the TVA, nobody can stand in his way. Okay? So what I've just described, everything we're talking about, these are rumors and leaks about the first two acts of the movie. Okay? Now, the rumor is once we crack into the third act of Avengers Doomsday. Oh, by the way, there's also a whole plot line with Spider-Man, and some of the Avengers are in 616, and Doctor Doom is invading them as well. It's like, it's all just one big crazy Doctor Doom psyop where he's setting everybody against each other to try to get to what he wants, okay? The third act of the film, and we're not sure, but it seems like the third act of the film will be after all of that, after everything I just explained. And it seems like the third act of the movie may well actually involve things like the Void, concepts like the TVA and a lot of other variants, possible multiversal Avengers that were being assembled secretly. This could be where Doom and his lieutenants have actually killed all of the anchor beings. They have the powerful people. They're going to Loki at the end of time. They're on the Void. And there were some rumors a couple of weeks ago. We don't know if these are real, but there were rumors that you would get a huge fight on the Void. And the thing about fighting on the Void in the third act of Doomsday is that any and every character that you want to be there can be there. So via the TVA, the multiverse, if we sort of extrapolate the plot of Deadpool and Wolverine out to other characters throughout the universe, multiple branches of TVA probably recruiting other powerful Marvel characters, which we see in that TVA comic book that kind of happened, right? And so if this is a thing, then I would just say them not finalizing the third act in Doomsday makes perfect sense. I think it would be challenging. Like, as I was thinking about this last night, I was like, damn, dude, it almost seems like the first two acts of this movie are going to be like a lot better. Like X-Men and Avengers, Doom doing crazy stuff. These characters first meeting each other, trying to work through stuff, getting through challenges together, going into a separate universe. Spider-Man, Wakanda, the Sorcerers fighting against Doom bots and potentially a Doctor Doom Death Star. all of that stuff sounds pretty fucking incredible to me. And so I think there might be a challenge going on where there's supposed to be this moment where Doom flips the switch, reveals his plans, and is fully realized as the actual villain of the film, right? It seems like what they want is for that to have an incredible amount of oomph and for fans to really love that part. But I would imagine this is also like a really tricky thing to figure out. Because although a lot of other parts of the movie have all kinds of characters, you probably want to sort of close down the focus of the movie in the third act. You want it to really be about Doctor Doom and potentially some other characters like the other Avengers, maybe evil Avengers versus real Avengers. That's where that actually happens and takes place. That could be interesting. You have to find a way to make it feel like a satisfying conclusion, to give a lot of character shine, for it to feel like spectacle. But I also think one of the things that's going to be challenging about it is we know Doom's about to win, right? How can we have a satisfying third act that breaks our hearts as we watch Doom actually complete his goals and actually remove Loki and actually reboot the entire universe? I would imagine that is a very difficult thing to get right. And although you can juggle a lot of pieces and move things along, once you get into that third act and you're zeroed in and you're honing in on the ending and the setup for the next thing, I think it's just such a crucial, vital, and important part of the film. So I'm not surprised that they are having these problems with the third act. The way I think they're going to do this, guys, and I think this is like just the Russos. This is just how they do it, but this is also a Marvel thing. I think the Russos are full steam ahead on some kind of assembly cut. I think they want to sit back and they want to actually watch the thing. And then I think after they watch it, they will have all kinds of ideas on how to make it better, on how to emphasize certain parts, on how to remove certain parts. And I think that's just a part of their system. So a bit of speculation here. But when you read the tea leaves and you kind of look at how these reports are shaping out, seems like they've delayed the thing 7 months. They're really not going to stop shooting. So it's almost like Marvel locked in on saying, this movie's so fucking ridiculously ambitious and so fucking important that we need to make it twice. That's the impression I'm getting. A 7-month delay is basically shooting another film. So I think they're going to do what they have. They're going to work from the script. They're going to assemble it. And then the whole team is going to watch it. And then they're going to literally tweak the fuck out of it and reshape it. Maybe not completely, but as much as it needs to be able to be the satisfying film that it needs to be. Doomsday right now, like, you know, we're talking about Superman. There's a lot of pressure on Superman. I think Superman is in a unique situation. So far, it seems like it's kind of meeting the moment in a good way. And things are looking up for Superman, right? Doomsday is as important, if not more important than Superman, just in different ways. I think Superman needs to prove that it can work and that a DCU of this ilk can work. Doomsday needs to show us that Marvel still has the ability to tap into what they had in the Infinity Saga. And Marvel needs to prove to us that, like, things are going to be different, that these movies are going to be fucking awesome. And ultimately, they have to set us up not just to have a good time in Secret Wars, but to have a good time in the next saga, to enjoy Marvel in a way that we used to. That is the goal. So with all of that said, guys, I just thought it would be important to talk about this. There's a lot of people tweeting this, talking about it, this, that, second, and the third. As best I can, that's kind of my thoughts on it, my breakdown. And I am not worried per se. To be honest with you, if they hadn't delayed it, I would be worried hearing this, right? But hearing it now, I think it actually tracks. I think we're going to be okay. But of course, we're going to follow along. Any little updates, things that happen, we will update you. What do you guys think? Reworking the third act of Doomsday. What do you think, man? What do you think, chat? I will go over some of the soupy chats here, and then we'll maybe just get into Q&A here. Let's see here. Sent you the clip on Discord. Appreciate you. Buffer Overrun says, how will product placement and licensing affect F4 bottom line? Seems the F4 box office, it can't lose money. I'm not sure what you're asking here. All movies have product placement and licensing? I'm not sure what the question... I'm not sure what you're saying, brother. Rossi says, I don't know what all these Snyder, Marvel, and Gun Bros are upset about. We got peak Star Wars with Andor on Disney+. Star Wars is back. What the... Ammo Side B. Welcome back to the Nerd Vengers, brother. Appreciate you, man. Welcome back. They want it to crush. I respect the shit out of it. Yeah, I think this is what you got to do. I think this is what you got to do, man. Is anyone here sick of young Superman? No, what? What is happening here? What young Superman are we sick of? Corn Sweat? We haven't even seen the movie. What is happening here? David? Jesus, guys. I'm sick of it. Oh, no kidding. Sheesh, man. Y'all are wild, man. New Adventures with Superman is a young Superman. Okay, fine. So there's two. Jeez. We had young Superman for decades. Watch the clip, homie. What clip? What are we watching? A Superman clip? A Superman clip?
How do you even know Superman anyway?
A Superman clip?
How do you even know Superman anyway?
I just do.
So you know about the hypno glasses?
Now she does.
Well, I'm not saying who he is, just that he wears hypno glasses. They make his face terrific. How do they work? They make his face look different in your brain when he wears them so that you know who he is.
Yes, I know this.
So you know he's Clark Kent.
Why does he trust everyone?
He does it. Just us, because we are also of the cloth.
Of the cloth?
How do you even know Superman anyway?
I just do.
So you know about the hypno glasses?
Now she does.
Well, I'm not saying who he is, just that he wears hypno glasses. They make his face terrific. How do they work? They make his face look different in your brain when he wears them so that you know who he is.
Yes, I know this.
So you know he's Clark Kent.
Why does he trust everyone?
He does it. Just us.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. It's not bad. Okay? It's like right on the line, though, bro. You know what I mean? My question, Josh, is how much long before this gets rebooted anyway? Hey, you don't say that. James Gunn to the moon. Josh, will you post an out of the theater reaction tonight for Super Shit? Should I? Do you guys want me to get my microphone out, record it on the cameras and all that? Should I do it? Hey, it's me. I'm out of the theater reacting to Superman. It was aight. See you guys tomorrow. All right. All right. I kind of feel like we're all a little bit more off. I shouldn't say all of us. Right? And also, I guess it's okay if you don't think the Fantastic Four clip is great, but you are wrong. I am right. I kind of feel like a lot of us have been lifted by the reactions, and you know, hopefully the reviews don't shit on it too much. I think a lot of us are feeling a little bit more optimistic. I am excited to see this film tonight, man. I'm excited to check it out. I'll do a little reaction for you guys. I'll try to do it out of the theater, and yeah, we'll see. You know, we'll talk about it tomorrow. The reviews will be out. I'll talk about my review tomorrow. No spoilers tomorrow. And then we'll get a sense, starting on Thursday or whatever, how the box office is doing. There's all sorts of content. Dude, I'm going to do like an ending explained video. I'll do like cool ways the DCU could go from here video, or we could talk about that on stream. I think we got to rank all the Supermans, right? So I might watch some more Supermans over the weekend just to get a sense of the different Supermen and rank them all. That'd be kind of fun. We'll talk box office on Monday. It's going to be juicy, man. There's a lot of fun stuff that is happening. And overall, I'm excited. I'm grateful to be able to go check the movie out. I'm grateful to have you guys to be able to chat about it too. This is what we do, man. And also, like, it truly feels like this. Like, I would love for this movie to actually be really good. If I love it, that's going to be great. And then we'll just see, like, can Fantastic Four also be good? Are we actually about to have a somewhat of a revitalization of the space? Because I truly believe that Fantastic Four looks great. Like, I'm very blown away by what I actually see with Fantastic Four and some of the stuff that I've heard. But I'm blown away by the response to Superman. We went over a ton of different reviews today. People seem to really love this movie. Not every part of it, and maybe that's okay. Maybe that's good, in fact, because if everybody had said it was flawless, maybe our radar would be up a little bit more. We'd be a little bit more questioning of it. But it seems like there's a lot of people that just genuinely love the hell out of the movie, even if it's not perfect. That's cool, man. That's cool. So, any last-minute thoughts, comments, questions, concerns before we get on out of here, guys? What do y'all got to say, man? I think they are setting up Doom to fail in the third act. I highly doubt that. That would be shocking. What would Secret Wars be about then? Blaine Slack says, enjoy Midman tonight. Just kidding, LOL. Hope it's good. If it's bad, it won't be good for us nerds. That's true. That's true, man. I'm excited. I'm going to stuff my face with popcorn. I'm going to have a good old time, I herald only woman do well in the MCU, says Evan S. That's very clever, very creative there, Evan. Glad to have you here. It's always good to have a little bit of spice to flavor up the community and whatever other stupid platitudes I gotta say so that I don't lose my fucking mind on it. Appreciate you, Evan. Sasha says, my mom took me to Man of Steel when I was a kid, and I loved IMAX ever since. I'm now trying to get IMAX tickets for my mom and I to see this one. Oh, that's sweet, man. That is sweet. Yeah, Evan, you got me, Evan. Good one, Evan. Will Doom interact with Mephisto? I actually haven't heard anything about that. Older rumors, but not anything new. Superman sucked. Don't trust the shills, says Lion Main Man. Whoa. Okay. Wish I had those Prime ticks, but see Soups on Thursday. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be real good. Gang, gang. Hell yeah. Josh, did you hear the track? I did hear the track, actually. Yeah. I did. I don't think it means anything, but it's fun. It's fun. There be some wild people in here today. Yep, that is absolutely true. There are some wild people in here today. That's okay. Some of us are a little wild ourselves, Guys, would you describe the Nerdvengers as a wild group? I need a nap. Yeah. I mean, I need a nap for sure, And every day. True. I mean, I can start banning motherfuckers. Goddamn. Why didn't Miss Marvel do the snap herself? Selfish. Yeah, true. The wild Nerdvengers. Yes. Yeah. Josh should be the next Tony Stark for the reboot. Hell yeah, agreed. Sir, you're looking handsome today. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Some people have been low-key disrespectful in here, too, so... Oh, Justin! You don't say the chat being disrespectful. Nobody gives a fuck when it's disrespecting me. Nobody gives a shit. I get no respect. But the moment it turns on Justin... Or maybe some other people. Yeah. Anyway, guys, before we get on it, I mean, you're a punching bag, so a little bit, you know, I am kind of a professional punching bag. Yeah. No one is disrespecting you, only MCU. God damn it, Evan. He's a punching bag. Oh, Trev, to you, everybody's a punching bag. Anyway. Do you see we played as you in college football? I don't know what that means, but did you do good? Did you win? Did both teams have fun? The F4 clip, we watched it. I thought it was great. I thought it was chilling. I'm captivated by it. I'm captured by the vibe, man. Dude, I think the Fantastic Four looks so fucking good. I think it looks so fucking good. Here's what I'll say. It was mid. God damn it, Yoner. You know what? Here's what I would say, though, to Marvel, honestly, right? Like, Kevin, you know, I know you're watching. Don't do this shit anymore, man. Like, I understand. Like, I'm willing to let it go. I can enjoy Shalabao. Like, it's fine. But, like, deadass, like, a bunch of these brilliant, unique snowflakes in this fucking chat over here are literally never going to let it go. They're literally never going to let it go. So I would just say to you, Kevin, stop. Just stop. There's literally no reason, because I would have the same reaction. I would be just as excited if it was Norrin. What are you worried about? Like 13 Twitter accounts that are going to be upset that there's not enough female representation? God damn it. Maybe I don't care about them because they don't watch my streams. But Kevin, just knock it off, man. You know? APT, song by Rossi and Bruno Mars, is highly recommended. My nieces and I. Not as good as Pink Pony Club, but what is, you know? The fuck is a Pink Pony Club anyway? What the fuck is a Pink Pony Club anyway? It all corrects itself if Fishburne Silver Surfers in Secret Wars. Facts. I like that. I'm going to take that. Yo, Josh, you think video game live action will be replaced popular to DC, Marvel, Zelda, Gears of War? It's possible, brother. It seems like it's going in that direction. They got to nail it, though, you know? I think the Zelda movie is very important for that whole genre. Fallout Season 2 is going to be very important. I would love another Halo project. I know they're doing Gears. I think there's a Mass Effect project somewhat in development as well. Yes, it's a song, but what is a Pink Pony? That's what I'm saying. What is a Pink Pony Club? What the fuck is it? Haven't heard shit about Guy Gardner's performance. That's true. You're not wrong. And you're correct to bring it up. It's a strip club. Oh, damn, okay. Hop on Halo Wars. Halo Wars is great, man. Halo Wars 2 was sick. But what's the player count? Like, there's probably like 3 people playing, man. And you guys are probably sweaty as fuck. Josh, they wrapped up production on Born Again Season 3. Well, Season 2, but yeah. We need a real Halo movie. Yes, James Cameron. Oh, that'd be great. Hell yeah. Zelda Ocarina of Time is the GOAT. I love Ocarina of Time, but honestly, Wait a minute. These set photos are real? Guys, the set photos were real? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you guys tell me? You know, I rely on you guys for these things. Watching them film the Avengers, coolest set I've been on. So this has got to be what, like a ship, or potentially. What does this space look like here, man? And Letitia Wright, Black Panther. So is this like a TVA thing? That is cool. It kind of looks TVA. The tech in the middle. Very cool. I love John Walker's look, man. I hope he gets some serious shine in these next 2 movies, dude. Lifeboat? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Because, like, you would think if there is a lifeboat now, it's probably Wakandan tech and the Fantastic Four working together to build it. Yeah, that could be cool. Hey, I love comic books, man. I'm excited for this shit. And we see Superman tonight, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, everybody. Hey. I appreciate you guys so much. And don't worry, Warhammer fans. I was working on scripts last night. We're cooking on the Warhammer stuff. Gonna be a big couple of weeks here. Superman, Fantastic Four. And then who knows, maybe after that we launch a couple Warhammer channels on YouTube. Wouldn't that be fun? Tagged you for Pink Pony Club in Discord music video. Okay, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Love having different links to ignore on the Discord. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everybody. Hey, much love, man. Next time I talk to you guys, I will have seen James Gunn's Superman. How will it hit me? How will I feel about it? Well, guess we'll find out. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. It will change your life. Be open mind. You'll keep on dancing. That's like what I say to you, but about Warhammer, Rossi. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I get you. Hey, is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Yeah, man. I'm gonna go pink pony down at the club dance time. Hell yeah. Oh, it's all come down to this, ladies and gentlemen. It's all come down to this. And soon we will know. Does that butthole from the Den of Nerds, does he like Superman or not? Pink Pony Club greater than scented can. Oh, what the fuck? Hey, you do me a favor, guys. Just on your way out, open up your third Pink Pony Club and wash out that stanky Pink Pony Club.